My beloved child, listen carefully to me today as I speak directly to your heart. You've wondered, you've prayed, you've asked for answers, and you've waited, sometimes patiently, sometimes with frustration, wondering when the breakthrough will come, when you'll see the fruits of all your efforts, when your struggles will end. You've faced many questions, some of which have weighed heavily on your spirit, and you've hoped for clarity, for a light to guide you through the fog of uncertainty. You've sought answers, haven't you? You've been asking, when will things change? When will I see the transformation I've been longing for? You've been praying for a breakthrough, waiting for something to shift, something to signal that your season of waiting is over. Today, I want to speak to you about the key to unlocking everything you've been praying for, the key that will bring the change you've longed for, the breakthrough you need, the clarity and direction you've been seeking. That key, my precious child, is your faith. Listen closely, for this message carries a truth so profound, so essential, that it has the power to transform your life. Your faith is more than just a belief in me, it is the connection between us, the foundation of our relationship, and the bridge that allows my power to flow into your life. Without faith, that connection weakens, and my ability to work in your life becomes limited. But when you trust me, when you place your faith in me without wavering, you give me permission to move mountains on your behalf. Faith unlocks my power in your life. It is through faith that I am able to work miracles, heal the broken, restore what was lost, and guide you to the fullness of the destiny I have prepared for you. You've been praying for answers, haven't you? You've asked for direction, for change, for healing, for transformation. You've been waiting for something to happen, for a sign that I am working in your situation. And I want to tell you this, faith is the key that opens the door to all that you are seeking. Your faith is not just a passive belief. It is an active force. It sets things in motion in the spiritual realm that you cannot even begin to comprehend. When you believe, truly believe, in my promises, when you stand firm in faith, despite what your circumstances look like, you activate a chain reaction in the heavens. Things begin to shift, align, and move in ways that are beyond your understanding. But here's the thing, faith is not about waiting until you see the evidence before you believe. Faith is about believing before you see the evidence. So many of my children make the mistake of thinking that faith is based on what they can see. They look at their circumstances and think, once I see the change, then I will believe. Once the breakthrough comes, then I'll have faith. But that's not how faith works. Faith is about trusting me, even when you can't see the way forward. It's about holding on to my promises, even when everything around you tells you otherwise. It's about believing that I am working behind the scenes, even when there's no visible evidence. Faith says, I trust you, Lord, even though I don't see it yet. I believe that you are moving, even though my circumstances haven't changed. You've been looking at your situation and wondering, why aren't things changing? Why can't I see the results I've been praying for? But remember, we walk by faith, not by sight. Your faith is not dependent on what you can see with your physical eyes, it is dependent on your confidence in me and in my word. And I promise you this, I am always faithful. I will never abandon you, even in your darkest moments, even when the storms of life are raging around you. I know life has been hard for you. I've seen the storms you've faced, the waves of doubt and fear that have crashed against you. I've watched as you've been tested, as trials have come one after another, leaving you feeling weary, worn, and sometimes even hopeless. I've seen the moments when you've felt like giving up, when you've wondered if you have the strength to keep going. But listen to me now, your faith is what will sustain you through every storm. Your faith is the anchor for your soul. When the winds of life try to knock you down, it is your faith that will keep you grounded. Think about it, my child. Think about the times when you felt like you couldn't go on, when the challenges seemed too great, when the burden was too heavy to bear. What kept you moving forward? What gave you the strength to take another step? It was faith, wasn't it? Even in the moments when you doubted yourself, when you questioned whether you had what it takes to overcome the obstacles in front of you, something deep within you whispered, keep going. Trust him. Don't give up. That was your faith at work. And I want to tell you today, the storm will pass. The sun will shine again. But you must hold on to your faith. Do not let go of it, no matter how hard things get. I am with you in the storm, and I will bring you through it. Faith is the key to your endurance. It is what will give you the strength to keep going, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Faith is not passive. It's not just sitting back and hoping that things will work out. Faith requires action. It requires you to step out in obedience, even when you don't know where the path will lead. When I ask you to take a step of faith, I'm not asking you to figure everything out on your own. I'm simply asking you to trust me enough to take that first step, knowing that I will guide you, that I will catch you, that I will lead you every step of the way. Think about Peter, when I called him to walk on the water. The storm was raging, the winds were howling, and the waves were crashing around him. But when I called him, he stepped out of the boat in faith. He didn't wait for the storm to calm down. He didn't wait for the perfect conditions. He stepped out because I called him. And when he did, he walked on water. His faith allowed him to do the impossible. But it wasn't until he took that step that the miracle happened. Faith requires action. It requires movement. It requires you to take the first step, even when you don't know what the next step looks like. So if I have placed something on your heart, if I have called you to move in a certain direction, trust me enough to take that first step. Your faith is the key to unlocking the next chapter of your life. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of faith. Fear whispers lies into your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that things will never change, that you'll fail if you try. Fear tries to convince you to stay where you are, to remain stuck, to play it safe. But listen to me, fear is a liar. And I am here to remind you today that your faith is stronger than any fear. When fear tries to creep in, remember that I am with you. Fear has no power over you when you stand in faith. Fear cannot paralyze you when you trust that I am in control. Fear and faith cannot coexist. When you choose faith, fear loses its grip on your life. You've allowed fear to hold you back in the past, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But today, I am telling you that your faith is the key to overcoming that fear. Trust me. Lean into me, and watch how fear fades away in the light of my love and power. Faith casts out fear. When you place your trust in me, you can walk forward with boldness, knowing that no weapon formed against you will prosper. Fear has no place in the heart of a child who walks in faith. You've been searching for your purpose, haven't you? You've been wondering what I have called you to do, uncertain about your path, unsure of where you're headed or what direction to take. But I want you to understand something important. Your faith is the key to discovering your purpose. I have a plan for your life, a purpose greater than anything you can imagine. But to walk in that purpose, you must trust me. Faith is the key to unlocking your destiny. As you trust me and walk in obedience, I will reveal my plan for you, step by step. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to know every detail of how things will unfold. All you need to do is take the next step in faith, and I will guide you to your purpose. I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked you. Your purpose is unfolding, and your faith will lead you there. One of the greatest gifts that comes from faith is peace. When you trust in me, when you place your faith in my hands, peace follows. Faith allows you to rest, knowing that I am in control. You've been carrying so many burdens, worry, stress, anxiety, trying to figure everything out on your own. And it's left you feeling exhausted, hasn't it? But I want to remind you today that you don't have to carry it all by yourself. Your faith is the key to releasing those burdens and finding peace. When you trust me, truly trust me, you can let go of the worry. You can rest in the knowledge that I am working all things together for your good. Faith brings peace, because faith says, I know God's got this. I know He's taking care of me. Let my peace wash over you right now. Place your worries in my hands, and trust that I am handling it all. Your faith is the key to unlocking the peace that I want you to walk in every day. I want you to know this, your faith will be rewarded. I have seen your faithfulness, your trust, your perseverance, even when it was hard. I know how much you've been through, how much you've held on to me, even when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. And now, I am telling you, your faith will be rewarded. The promises I've made to you, the things you've been waiting for, they are coming. Your faith has not been in vain. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep holding on to me. Faith is the key to everything I have prepared for you. It will unlock every door, open every opportunity, and lead you to the fulfillment of your deepest desires. I am working in ways you cannot see, and I will bring to pass everything I have spoken over your life. So, my child, listen to me carefully. Your faith is the key. It is the key to your breakthrough, to your healing, to your purpose, to your peace. Do not let go of your faith. Strengthen it, nourish it, and trust in me with all your heart. I am with you always, and I will never let you down. Walk by faith, not by sight, and watch as I move in your life in ways you never imagined.